And I hit it recorded today, so it's going to be okay.
And now we're recording.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Church with a Two-Drink.
All right, everybody ready? We're going to sing. Hey, look at us. I'll show you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the church with Two-Drink Minimum. Welcome to the church with Two-Drink Minimum. We are interfaith, interspiritual, God optional. So relax and get ready for a celebration. Welcome to the church with a two-drink minimum. One more time now. Welcome to the church with a two-drink minimum. Everybody, come up with an ACIM.
We dog. I don't know about y'all, but it is like minus bazillion in Brooklyn right now. So if suddenly the screen freezes, it's not the screen; it's actually the weather.
Cold.
It is so cold in Brooklyn right
It
now.
really, really is. But I love it.
Uh-huh.
It feels like we're camping in our Vermont cabin up in
Yeah.
Vermont.
I know, it's true.
I'm so happy to see y'all
I know.
today. We're really happy to have some new friends. Madeline's joining us, I think, for the first time, and she's an old dear friend of ours. So we're really happy that you joined us, Madeline, and everybody on the radio. We really appreciate that, and all of our friends that are watching this on YouTube. We are really thankful for you, and we're really grateful for this day. This morning's homily was
right from my heart. Right?
Oh my goodness!
I know if you saw the listen to the homily this morning, it was really lovely.
Oh, and so Cheryl, if you're watching or if you hear it later, I just want to thank you for that lovely sharing from the heart. And what really got me is the sense of fellowship here that we share, on this online platform here at Awakening Together. It's just so beautiful and powerful, and sometimes when we struggle with feeling like we don't belong, we can always come into this sanctuary and know we have family and friends here.
We do. We refer to this as our practice community.
We do,
right? Because this is always about skills development, isn't it?
It is. Amen. So we're just thrilled and honored to be here.
Speaking of skills.
Oh, I know. But first, let's sing our new sing-along.
I know.
So let's put the lyrics in the chat.
Okay.
And if y'all want to sing along with us, yeah. Okay. Cool. And Madeline, I think you'll know this one, Madeline, because one of the last times we were physically in church together, this is one of the songs I sang. It's called Grace Goes With Me, and it's in the chat. Hi, Arizona, if you want to get the words in the chat. Is Tika with you?
Of course Tika's with me.
Tika's with you. Hi, Connie and Ellen. Oh, we have a little visitor on Connie and Ellen's screen, too. Oh,
I know.
How wonderful. We've got our baby
Cats
over
for
here
a
somewhere.
church with a 2-drink minimum.
We should call this Church with Cats.
Ours is right over
Church
here.
with a 2-cat minimum. All right, here we go. Let's do it.
Grace goes with me. Grace goes with me. Wherever I go, she goes with me. Sacred mystery. Wherever I go, Grace goes with me. Wherever I go, sacred mystery. Wherever I go, her light surrounds me. Her love enfolds me.
Her power protects me, and the presence of grace watches over me. So wherever I am, she is, and all is well. Grace goes with me wherever I go. Oh yeah, y'all are getting it now. This is good. Okay, let's sing it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Grace goes with me. Wherever I go, she goes with me. Sacred mystery. Wherever I go, grace goes with me. Wherever I go, sacred mystery. Wherever I go, her light surrounds me. Her love enfolds me. Her power protects me. And the presence of grace watches over me. So wherever I am, she is. And all is well. Grace goes with me. Wherever I go. Wherever I go. Wherever I go. Cha-cha-cha.
I love this.
I know, this is fun. We're getting used to it now. Oh, thanks, Connie.
And it's well, we're going to talk about, I mean, my lesson today is about the power of denial. How to use denial to declare our presence and our identity as the eternal, as this grace that we speak of. And that's how we say it. Grace goes with, I know I'm afraid. I know maybe I don't understand. I know I might even be upset or in pain, but what is also true is grace goes with me.
Yeah.
The sacred mystery is also present. Because I suffer, it doesn't mean I have banned good or understanding from my existence. It means that I've covered it with my own ignorance.
Yeah.
You know, so we can look at that. We can look at the way we choose suffering, the way we choose out of our own programming, and it's a part of recognition. It's why I always call this skills development, right?
Oh, right.
Learning that self-knowledge that we're encouraged to have, right?
Yeah. Well, we're going to do something fun because, you know, we love the workbook lessons.
I know, in the first 50 days.
Oh, in the first 50
telling
days are so wonderful.
I know.
It's always such a great review. And so we're going to do today's lesson. But first, before we do today's lesson, we're going to sing another little song.
Oh, are we?
Uh-huh. We're going to play we're going to do the workbook lesson song.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because we created this cute little...
Oh, yeah.
So, at the beginning of the Course in Miracles workbook, it has instructions on how to read it.
Uh-huh.
And so we put these instructions to a little rap, if you will.
It's spoken word.
Spoken word performance art.
Uh-huh.
And I think Jacqueline just joined us. Hey, Jacqueline.
Yeah, yay.
All right, just in time for the workbook.
Yeah, I think there are just a couple of people in the room that have done this before. I know Sign has done this before.
Yeah.
It's the workbook instructions.
It's the workbook instructions.
So it's good to remember. You know, it's good to remember the instructions about how she says that the course and the book and it's how to approach really any spiritual teaching.
I think so too, and I actually like it just in life. So, and of course,
it's good advice all around. So we can stop talking about it, and maybe play.
Let's do it.
Okay. Do you have you got the workbook instructions memorized? Do you have that whole paragraph memorized?
I don't think so, but you got to share the sound.
Oh, that's true.
Share.
I do. This is all right.
Okay.
This is true.
Did you go to basic? Go to
yes,
basic.
I did.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
All right. Here's the deal. Words are in Course in Miracles. The overall aim of the exercises is to increase your ability to extend the ideas you will be practicing to include, say it with me, everything.
This will require no effort on your part. The exercises themselves meet the conditions necessary for this kind of transfer.
The relationship.
Some of the ideas the workbook presents you will find hard to believe, and others may seem to be quite startling. This does not matter. You are merely asked to apply the ideas as you are directed to do. You are not asked to judge them at all. You are asked only to use them. It is their use that will give them meaning to you and will show you that they are true. Remember only this: you need not believe the ideas, and you need not accept them, and you need not even welcome them. And some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter or decrease their efficacy. Do not allow yourself to make exceptions in applying the ideas the workbook contains, and whatever your reaction to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than that is required. Use them. Nothing more than that is required. Use them. Nothing more than that is required.
When you're using the ideas, when you learn something, do you put it in practice? Or do you just memorize it to scold your friends? You know, also an option. Always an option. You know?
Oh God, that's so funny. We can use anything to shame each other.
I know.
And attack each other.
It's true. It's true.
But we will not do that today. We will
we will.
Practice the ideas as the workbook presents
As
them.
you are directed to do.
I know.
The voice that likes you has direction, right? There's three parts to that. Trust, listen to the voice that likes you.
Right.
She'll tell you that we are one.
Right.
And what's the third thing? She'll tell you how to act like it. There's direction.
There is
right?
direction. So let's see what today's...
Remember what today's lesson is?
I love this. So since this is January 16th, this is lesson 16. I have no neutral thoughts.
Turns out,
Yay!
you're either going up the mountain or going down the mountain. The way the Course in Miracles describes it is you're going up the stairs, you get up the spiral staircase to the lawn in front of the gates of heaven, or you are traveling down. You know?
She likes all that that colorful language.
Well, I know, it's a stairway to heaven.
It is.
But today we're going to talk about the bridge to heaven. There's a bridge too.
But I want to read this because it's cool. I have no neutral thoughts. The idea for today is a beginning step in dispelling the belief that your thoughts have no effect.
Okay, that means we're powerful.
Yeah, exactly. That's so important. Everything you see is a result of your thoughts. There is no exception to this fact. There is no exception to this fact. Thoughts are not big or little, powerful or weak. They are merely true or false. Those that are true create their own likeness. Those that are false make theirs.
Right. You perpetuate what you think the most about. So our default settings, like what do you return to? What are the thoughts that you return to again and again and again and again? You know, she talked about that in the lesson this morning.
She did.
You know, catching yourself in the habitual thoughts. You know.
You know, in lovely exercises in this lesson, this thought about whatever is not a neutral thought. That thought about whoever, whatever, is not a neutral thought. And those are such good things to remember. It brings me once again back to the lesson, I trust my brothers who are one with me. And because I have no neutral thoughts, it's important for me to declare that I trust you. I just trust you in your decision making, in your life, in what you're doing. I trust you. And it all works together for the good. So I feel like
That
you
can
know,
be
that
kind
was
of a
such
hard
an
slog for
interesting-
some of us, believing that all things are working together for
Oh,
our
I
good.
know it
Especially when we
can.
can look at that. When you look at the material, our own material existence. You know, I have we had recently some pretty close friends of ours test positive this week.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so to say, you know, to be there with the material conditions of the suffering of others, and to be able to say, I know you're suffering. I know there's
Yes.
I know there's the truth beyond what is, and together we share that truth. And I'm gonna know the truth for you when you are having trouble, because I need you to hold it for me when I'm having trouble.
Truly.
You know,
And I trust you.
and I trust you to do that.
Yeah. Trust. Okay, so bringing love and trust and knowing that we have no neutral thoughts, let's bring that all into our circle of love.
And direction. There's direction.
Direction, yep, and the bridge.
The bridge of return.
The
She
bridge of
calls
return.
it today. The bridge of return.
All right, so let's breathe. Let's ring the bell and breathe 3 times, and then Om, and then have a little moment of silence, and then a beautiful song after that. So here we go. The sound of Om, the sacred sound of life, of the universe, of all living things. We acknowledge and accept and love the fact that together we are co-creating this circle of love called life, and specifically in this Awakening Together sanctuary room today with our beautiful friends, our lovely family, and all of those that are with us in our physical spaces. We know that they are included in that circle, and all of those that are with us in our towns and our buildings and our streets and our cities, into the country and into this world, all of us, all living beings, are in this circle of love together with everything that we like and everything that we do not like. We trust each other. We trust God. We trust the forward movement of life itself. And we know that we are safe. We are loved. We are held. And we are one. Blessed be. So it is. I wish you could see what I see in you when I look into your eyes. Om Tare Tu Re Swaha. Om Tare Tu Re Swaha. Om Tare Tu Re Swaha. Om. I wish that I could rescue you. Please tell me what drove you to the ledge. What happened that shattered your dreams? Triggered the pain that now plagues you. I wish that I could
convince you that you don't deserve to suffer. I see the power in your eyes. They're the windows to your soul. Your eyes are the windows to your soul. Do you see the footprints in the sand? I'll carry you and your wounds. Your healing is something we'll do together. I'm sticking with you. I want you to know how holy you are, how possible you are, how beautiful. I can see it in your eyes. They're the windows to your soul. Your eyes, they're the windows to your soul. Your eyes, they're the windows to your soul. Your eyes, they're the windows to your soul. I wish you could see what I see in you when I look into your eyes.
Yay. I love that song.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you, everybody. I just feel so held and loved and supported and blessed by everyone. And, you know, it's just, I want to share this every time I'm in the room because this is a community that has become so much like family to me. Mm-hmm. So I'm so grateful. So very grateful. And I guess, you know, Cheryl's message this morning really drove that home to me too. So it's lovely. We're really thrilled today to share chapter 2 from the Separation and the Atonement, section 2. Mm-hmm. The atonement as defense. Now that's interesting.
Yeah, I know. We don't often talk about the to defend the truth in here because it's often really confused because the truth doesn't need any defense, but we have to defend it in our own minds. We have to develop the habit of recognizing the falsehood in our own thinking and our own often habitual, programmed, unthinking, unconscious, the world-centric, hegemonic thinking, to be able to capture that or be able to see it or see through it or past it, as the Course in Miracles says, in order to see the truth that is there. And that's the proper use of denial, to say, no, that's not true. No, that's not what my experience is. No, that's not the world I want to say exists. No, that's not what I want to support. No, I'm not going to go in the directions, or no, I'm not going to make the mistakes I've made in the past, even if I don't know what the correct decision is. I have a list of things that are wrong that I know are don't bring me what I want, are not aligned with the truth, right? Don't help me work with what is. So the first chapter of A Course in Miracles is a description all about what is real. Okay, with things like that, the escape from darkness, wholeness in spirit, the illusion of needs, all the things that it talks about is what is real. What are your real needs? What are our real, and it ends with the distortion of miracle impulses. Well, today we are on separation and the atonement. So what does that sound like? That's a description of the problem.
Oh,
isn't
right.
it?
Okay.
So chapter
Yeah.
2 is the description of the problem in A Course in Miracles.
And it lies in our thinking.
And it lies in our thinking.
Like it says today, we have no neutral thoughts.
We have no neutral thoughts. Either, we're sliding either we're either building on what is and participating with what is, or she says we're trying to stand still and trying to go back to sleep. Because illusions don't have effects. We have to create the illusion and create the effect. Right? We have to support that whole system because it can't stand on its own. So we're going to look at how we do that as individuals and groups and culturally speaking, and I'm sure you'll be able to see how this fits into a lot of stuff that's contemporary, all the stuff that's actually happening in the world right now. So this is the atonement as defense. This
Interesting.
is
That's such an odd way to put it. So I'm
she's odd.
yeah.
So this is the primary problem, the separation and the atonement, and we're going to look at section 3, the atonement as defense.
Okay. Wow.
Section 2, excuse me, the atonement as defense.
The atonement as defense.
So I want you to, like we do, I've combined the first 2 paragraphs to get the first point across. Why don't you read the part I've highlighted?
Okay,
today
cool.
for you?
Well, this is really cool. I love the way she starts this off.
You ready to go?
Yeah, let's go. Okay. You can do anything I ask.
First sentence. It's always a really good, because in the way she writes, she states what she's asking you to do, and then she tells you all the reasons why you don't do it, and then she says it again in another way. So
and this is so cool because it goes again with today's lesson.
It does.
You have no neutral thoughts. So she starts off with, you can do anything I ask. And then when you are afraid of anything, you're acknowledging its power to hurt you. Remember that where your heart is, there is your treasure also. You believe in what you value. That's what's so interesting about beliefs.
That's your cross-stitch moment.
You believe in what you value. That's such an interesting thing about, belief systems. This is the proper use of denial. It is not used to hide anything, but to correct error.
And I want to remind you, what was the 2 steps from last week that we talked about?
I don't remember. You have to tell me.
That darkness, darkness isn't real, right?
Okay.
And darkness is darkness like sin,
Oh,
so
right.
and we want to hide in the darkness.
Right,
so
right.
Darkness can't actually hide anything.
Right.
Okay, that's the first. The realization that darkness can't hide anything. What's the second step? Second step is I don't want to hide anything.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right. So she's building on that idea. What you believe in, you value. Remember where your heart is. This is the proper use of denial. It is not used to hide anything because you don't want to hide anything. Our correction and our healing is the realization that I don't want to hide.
How about that?
So read this next
How
one.
about that?
I keep interrupting. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's, true denial is a powerful protective device. I think it's important to find out about how to use denial. True denial is a powerful protective device. You can and should deny all and any belief that error can hurt you.
Say that again.
You can and should deny any belief that error can hurt you.
Can error hurt you?
No.
So making a mistake doesn't hurt you?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
In the service of the right mind, the denial of error frees the mind and reestablishes the freedom of the will.
In service of the right mind. Okay, so in service of what is true. I place myself to do the bidding of reality. Like, I am in the service of my right mind.
Yeah.
She doesn't even use she's not even getting into Holy Spirit yet much. She's talking about communion. We talked about communion and about the joining in this relationship we have with the truth that's embedded within us. She calls it the altar in our heart. She goes, trust your heart. You already know this stuff. So in the service of the right mind, the denial of error, the denial that mistakes actually have consequences that were going to hurt me, reestablishes the freedom of the will.
Ah!
And y'all, how often do you hear my freedoms every day? How often do you hear freedom, 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 freedom? We need freedom, fighting for our freedom, freedom to do this, that, or the other thing. And this is the freedom of your will. And now in the Course in Miracles and around these tables, we say, my will and God's will are the same, right? Because with the realization that everybody wants the same thing can be kind of big. So this is that reestablishes this error, this understanding of error and understanding of darkness, reestablishes the freedom to participate in what is real, or this miracle mindset. So this is the power of true denial, that miracles are natural to us. They're absolutely ordinary, right? They're not unusual, and that fear and doubt blocks their experience from my reality. My fear, my choosing fear, my upholding fear, my having doubts, my believing these doubts are true, and fear is giving away the power giving power to something to hurt us. So we're saying, I fear you, I have to avoid you or restrict you or do all this, is actually giving away power to hurt you. That's what the idea in the Course in Miracles is trying to get us to say. And it blocks our experience of reality because we value fear and doubt. Because we get rewarded for being fearful. Heart races. We get all these adrenaline pumps. We get to be right, or gain power, or shame somebody. It distorts our. This is what we use to distort our minds. It's not reality, and that's why it has consequences. We're doing it. We're saying that that's fearful, and we're doing the punishment. Right? So fear and reality are not equal ideas. There isn't fear on one hand and reality on the other. There's only reality. And then there's us trying to make fear a thing. Fear is there to show us where our doubts are. Fear is there to show us where we're shaky. Unshakable knowing is what she's offering us here, if in service of the right mind, right? It allows us to hide from nothing. Because if you're in your right mind and you know who you are, know thyself, right? Excess, nothing in excess, and certainty brings insanity. Remember that from last week?
Right, I do remember that.
So this allows us to hide from nothing. If you know who you are, you have no need to deceive other people.
That's
if you know
true.
where your good comes from, you have no need to deceive anybody, much less yourself, ourselves, because we're the biggest deceivers in our own lives. So this is about error and denial. Error is fear, is sin, is limit. She goes, is darkness, right? Fear. So all those things create a world that is not real, but it's the world that we're experiencing, holding up, maintaining, because we value it in some way. This is the connection. This is the connection of meaning making, which is what a lot of the first chapter is about, how we make meaning, and the second chapter is like the problem. What is it that we actually value? So connecting means making. How do we make meaning and say things are meaningful? And what do we say is valuable? Where do we place our value? And to examine that within our own minds and thoughts and habits. So we are creators, and we miscreate when we're afraid. We miscreate when we use a distorted mind to make decisions from. And so I loved this part, what I call the cross-stitch pillow moment. Your treasure is where your heart is. What is your heart's desire? Really be honest about that. What do I have endless energy to do? What is the direction my right mind wants to take me? The denial that I can't have what I said, I can't have what I want. No, that's not true. Deny that idea. Now, I know we experience it, but I can't have what I want. I can have what I want. My life feels. What's that?
Oh well, that's my chant.
So this is the Louise Hay idea.
Well, it's my life feels good. I can have what I want. I choose joy. I choose peace. Yeah.
So read this next bit.
I will, but let's go back over to the room to see if anybody has any anything in the chat they want to say. Oh yeah, no, we're just. Oh, thanks, Jacqueline. All right, so we are now here.
Paragraph 3.
Yeah. Okay. It is a question of what it is for.
Right.
Okay. The means are easier to understand after the value of the goal is firmly established. It is a question of what it is for. Everyone defends his treasure and will do so automatically.
You see it.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
see
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
very
yeah.
clear.
Uh-huh. The real questions are, what do you treasure? And how much do you treasure it? There we go.
What do you
Wow.
what do you value? What is worth defense? Is your sanity worth sanity worth defense? You know. So this is about making choices, right? The first idea was about the power of true denial, which is the subject of the whole thing. So,
Right.
and this is about choice making. We don't do it. We're into the section where it goes, why we don't do it. Well, we're making poor choices. Why? Because of fear and because the fear and doubt
Right.
that we value, we don't know that we're valuing. So she tells us how we can suss out or determine what it is we are actually valuing versus what we say we value. And you can look at it. You can say, what is the goal? You can say, what is this for? What is this job for? What's the goal of this job? What's the goal of this relationship? What's the goal of reading this book or eating this meal? Or what is this for? All of these choices are important to realize where our intent is. This is matching means and ends. It's the choice of where to use our action. It's the choice to where to use our time. It's a choice about how and where to use our talents, because we all have them. They weigh heavy on our heart to give away to the world. So bring these questions to all of our actions as a way of being, as a way of meaning making. Right. And you will discover, as I have discovered, many people have discovered, there is integrity in a spiritual path. There is integrity in a practice group. There is integrity in not hiding. Right.
For
and
sure.
so the more,
like we experienced this morning,
I know,
with Cheryl, being so vulnerable with us, that was really lovely.
So and which is important. People are beginning to give themselves permission to present how they want to walk in the world with the clothes and the haircut and the things and all the things that they want to. They're not hiding anymore. I'm not going to hide anymore. It is important that the world sees the diversity that is within it, to express the diversity that is the mind of God. And so the more that we match the means and ends, the faster that we can experience and live in the miracle, live in this flow state of, default joy is in this joy and peace. So the miracle is lived knowledge of the atonement. We are living in the knowledge of atonement when we make choices in service of our right mind. What is our right mind? We each experience it a little bit differently. I call it the voice that likes me. Yolanda says it's a compelling intuition for her.
Right.
It's compelling. It's intuition. This is right. This is the right thing. I'm getting confirmation, this internal confirmation. Each of us understand and experience that a little bit differently. But the more that we match means and ends, the quicker we can string together those moments, those deep times in reality to stabilize. And that's later in the Course. Stabilization is a real thing in A Course in Miracles. And the more that we do this, the more that we live into this expression of the knowledge, our own knowledge of the atonement. I am one with my brothers. I trust my brothers who are one with me.
Yeah.
I am not alone in the effects of my thinking.
Yeah.
So it's we're here as an us, as a we, as a this. Okay. So then the next 3 paragraphs. I'm not going to read to you directly. We're going to excerpt with the next thought comes to the next 3 paragraphs. So read what I've highlighted for you.
Yeah, let's go back and see if there's any comments we need to see. No, we're good. Okay, all right. So the next part says, the atonement thus becomes the only defense that is not a two-edged sword. It can only heal.
Right.
Wow, now that makes a lot of sense to me.
It's one-directional. Right. Because reality is one-directional.
Well, and then, thinking of the atonement as at one mint, as we do a lot, really experiencing that makes sense that it can only heal.
And her analogy of the two-edged sword is that it just cuts the truth. It doesn't hurt you, and it just cuts through illusion with the truth. It doesn't hurt us.
It can only heal.
Yeah.
Atonement is the final lesson. Learning itself, like the classrooms in which it occurs, is temporary.
So what's the classroom?
This Schoolhouse Earth.
Right. So the atonement is the final lesson. That's what they call awakening to the oneness, right?
Learning itself like the classroom.
Can't wait to talk to Ms. Concrete.
I know tonight it's going to be really, really good.
Concrete.
Okay, scroll back up just a bit. I'm going to read that again. The atonement is the final lesson. Learning itself, like the classrooms in which it occurs, is temporary. Only while there is a belief in differences is learning meaningful. Oh, that makes sense. Because we're here in this Schoolhouse
See, and she doesn't
Earth.
say you have to get rid of anything.
Right.
There's nothing to get rid of. While there is a belief in differences, right, learning is meaningful.
That makes sense to me.
It's so gentle.
That makes sense to me. The atonement is the device by which you can free yourself from the past as you go ahead.
Okay, so the atonement idea is a principle that only makes sense when you're not in atonement. Because when you're in atonement, it's just reality.
Oh, right.
It's the way it is. It's like, duh, it's obvious. So the atonement idea is a device that we're learning to free ourselves from the past. Right? That's a promise. So what else should you say?
That. As long as there is a need for atonement, there is need for time, sure. But the whole atonement stands at time's end. At that point, the bridge of return has been built.
I love that.
The bridge of return.
The bridge of return. I know. It sounds like a World War II movie. Get the troops on the bridge of return.
The bridge of return.
Oh, we must build the bridge of return before it's too late. So there is no need for atonement. As long as there is need for atonement, as long as there's the need for the idea that we're all one and we're all working this together, this is only one thing happening here. As long as that needs to be taught, there's going to be time.
Time, sure. And this Schoolhouse Earth.
Right. And so the whole atonement stands at time's end. What's at time's end? This moment. Right? Because eternity doesn't have time.
Right.
And this moment, being with you right now, so I'll stop clapping. At this
in front of the microphone.
At this point, so you're in the moment. Time has disappeared. The past has disappeared. And you are present and working with what is. She says that you have built the bridge of return. Right? That's, to this awakening. So this atonement is the power and experience of oneness. It is the miracle. The miracle is that we experience in time and material existence, is what we experience in the time and in the material existence. There is no miracles in heaven because it's heaven. Because there's no miracles in the moment because it's already us. It's already there.
It is the miracle.
So it is the miracle. So we is the miracle. We experience it as in the material realm. So we, our true nature, our intent, our means matching in, our heart, are the eternally creative. So we are eternally created, and we don't need to learn anything, she says in this paragraph. There's nothing to learn. If you can get to the place where you're on the bridge of return, and you don't need to learn anything else, because you will do it. You'll just do it. All power and all knowledge will be yours. Ours. Will be accessible. So we learn to grow in this expression of the atonement. And she says error is abolished. Well, of course it's abolished, because we don't see things that are going wrong. We see things that are happening, and our place and our job or profession, she calls it in another section, our profession to, what is ours to do, what we have is this mine to do, right? And all of us remember Schoolhouse Earth.
Yeah.
The idea of Schoolhouse Earth. I think that's Aldous Huxley. But the promise, she says in this section, the promise that she gives in this is that we will have freedom from the past and the future. That's kind of huge.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my worrying is about the future.
Yeah.
And a lot of my suffering is about remembering the past.
Right.
What would happen if you did not, or we did not, make decisions based on the past? Or
the
based
future.
on what might happen in the future.
Right.
What if we made it based on the knowledge of who we are as the miracle worker, as the miracle-minded, as the atonement? You know, awakening as the bridge of return to oneness. Awakening, the idea of awakening as this bridge of return to oneness.
Yeah.
The bridge of return. What are you returning to?
it.
Original knowledge, original nature. So read this last bit.
A return to love.
A return to love. There's Marianne Williamson for you. A return to love.
So here we go. The atonement is a total commitment.
Well.
about
Where she's asking you for a commitment. You know, can you make a total commitment? You're ready to make a commitment. The atonement is total commitment.
Well, I mean, it's just the realization. When you realize it, you are committed. I mean, to me, that's easy. It's
I become
not like,
committed.
Yeah,
like,
it's not
with the
like
promises. With these promises, yeah, I'm committed.
And the truth of it, when you really realize the truth of being at one with everything, you know.
I want to make that true. Even if I don't
right.
understand it, I want to participate with
And
that.
that's important too. You don't have to understand it
it.
all. The miracle turns the defense of atonement to your real protection. And as you become more and more secure, you assume your natural talent of protecting others, knowing yourself as both a brother and a son. Isn't that beautiful?
This is really this is
you
the last
become
thing
more
she
and more
says.
secure as you assume your natural talent of protecting others. We have a natural talent of protecting others.
And you can, I know you can look back on your history and see where you have protected others. Maybe a little brother, little sister, maybe it was puppies.
Maybe my kitty.
maybe-
Where's my kitty? Where's my kitty?
So our natural talent and our natural desire and our natural intent is this idea of protecting others. Not because we see them as bodies, not because we see them as, needing to be saved. It's the protecting others from making the same decisions that we did, perpetuating fear and doubt, protecting others from a system that tells us that we're broken and wrong and ugly and can't have what we want, and we have to earn happiness, right? So that's what we have a natural talent of protecting others. And it's also protecting others from our own mistakes, from our own miscreations, right? So the ask here is to make a commitment. To make a commitment to that goal. Have the intent of awakening, have the intent of being present. No matter what our feeling, no matter what, is happening else in the world, to be present with what is, so that we're able to make good decisions. And the proper use of denial is to say, I know what to, happiness is mine. Joy is here, even if I can't see it. Peace is here, even if I'm not experiencing it right now. I know what to do if I will let my heart lead, if I will be in service of my right mind, if I will let my heart lead the way. I will choose again and choose again and choose again. The denial of doubt and fear to define our path to the goal are our intent. The denial is here to deny the doubt and fear that we say defines our path. Right. The suffering that was required in order for us to wake up. It's not.
Nope.
So that paradigm has to be, we have to see it and how we're creating it and keeping it in place. A defense that cannot attack is the best defense, is what she says in this last paragraph. These are instructions. A defense that cannot attack is the best defense. She says the meek possess all the, they're going to inherit the earth because they possess all the strength, because they don't need to have power over. Do you know how much strength and power it is when you don't need to restrict other people, when you don't need to police bodies through space, when I don't need the world to act and behave a certain way for me so I feel safe or I feel, okay? That meekness, that humility, that Cheryl was expressing today, that is real power. Because that kind of power, that kind is in this moment, strength and reality is the best defense against what we say can hurt us. It's skills development, because we'll see it coming from a mile away. Maybe you've experienced that before. He goes, "Oh my, this again." So some old pattern starts to like come up again, and you go, "Ugh, I know that one," and you just like go, "I'm tempted again, but I'm not." You can see it beginning to happen. You can see the thought come and appear and like go away.
Yeah,
watch it happen.
I'm catching
getting
those.
good at you're
I'm
getting good at
those.
this.
I'm catching
at
those.
choosing to that's the proper use of denial.
Yeah.
The ask is to protect others from our bad decisions, to protect others from the collective decisions we make as a group that support a continued harm or the suffering of others. Right. Our ask is to protect others. We are, she calls us in this last paragraph, a brother and a son. So we are the teacher and the one that's being taught, right? We're the older brother who knows everything, and we're the son that looks up to the father, looks up to the brother. We're being taught and we're the teacher. I am the teacher and the student. To build those connections means that we don't fight fear and doubt. We don't have to wrestle with fear and doubt, other than recognizing that there's errors and they don't have to have effects in our lives if we don't participate in them. What we are participating in is what works. What we participate is the means and ends of being the person that we're supposed to be, being the expression that we're supposed to be, and not the performance of some ideal in our head. So this is the miracle of existence. It's the expression of our love, expression of our inner nature. It's this love of ourselves and our community, and seeing ourselves and others and all people. So that's what we got for you today. Just a reminder, you're listening to Church with a 2-Drink Minimum, and I am Reverend Glen Ganaway, your favorite anarchist preacher, and this is the love of my life, the Reverend Yolanda.
Really? Well, thank you. You are the
gotta
love of my life too.
Yeah, the proper use of denial, I think, was really, really, very, very cool.
Well,
so tell us about this.
I am so pleased to share this next song with you, and our last song for the evening. Oh, hi, Cindy. Hi, I'm so glad you joined us. Yay, we love you too. So a couple of weeks ago, I was playing this song in here. It's called Interfaith is All Right, and I didn't have a video for it, so I was just showing you the album cover. And one of our dear friends in the sanctuary in the room that day said, "Well, I can make a video for you." And I was like, "Well, that would be lovely." And so she did. Her name is Alexandria Tava, and she's going to be a guest, one of my guests on Sounds of Awakening. She's going to be a guest in March. And Alexandria is a really interesting person. She's a singer-songwriter and also a sound healer, and a media maker. So she created this video for my song Interfaith is All Right that we're going to share with you right now.
Jesus is quite alright with me. Buddha is quite alright, oh yeah. Muhammad is quite alright with me. Abraham is alright. Well, I don't care what path you take. Every path leads to the same place. We're all children of God's grace, and all of it is alright.
Oh yeah.
All of it is alright. and all of it is alright. Oh yeah. Mary, she's my friend. Gaia, she's my friend. Tara took me by the hand. Saraswati made me understand that the goddess, she is my friend. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain to the ocean. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's alright, 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 alright. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. It's alright, 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 alright. Jesus is quite alright with me. Science is quite alright, oh yeah. Atheist is alright with me. All of it is alright. I don't care what path you take. Every path leads to the same place. Living in sacred mysteries, grace, and all of it is alright. Oh yeah.
All right. Woo! Okay, we're giving up the mic now. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for something genuine.
Wow.